Horridon is the second encounter in the Throne of Thunder raid and is considerably more difficult than Jinrock. Horridon has 392 million health, though you'll burn through much more than that by the time you actually get to lay into him. We use 2 tanks, 3 healers, and 5 DPS. This guide is available in text format at availedguild.com. Horridon utilizes a handful of tricky abilities, the first of which is Triple Puncture. This attack deals 400k damage to the current tank and leaves a stacking debuff that increases damage taken from Triple Puncture by 10%. Cooldown usage will be required at higher stacks until a tank swap can be completed. Double Swipe functions much like a dragon's tail swipe, causing a frontal cleave and tail lash with obvious floor visuals. Each of these hits twice, dealing 700k damage total. Occasionally, Horridon will charge a random member of the raid, running to them and performing a double swipe. Shortly after initiating the encounter, adds will begin spawning from a gate that opens to the left of the arena's entrance, and trolls will rush into the fight. Each of these waves of adds is comprised of 3 mobs with varying dangerous mechanics. Gate 1. The Feraki. Skirmishers are easily dealt with by gathering them up and AoEing them down. Stone Gazers, on the other hand, are the more frustrating adds of this gate, stunning targets for 10 seconds if not interrupted. This stun is dispellable. Wastewalkers are the most dangerous add from this gate, and they should be focused down over everything else besides the Dinomancer. These adds will constantly place Sunfire on their target, which stacks up and deals massive damage. They will also spawn sand traps on random players, which slow their target and deal 100k damage a second. These grow over time until they eventually dissipate. The Dinomancer is an add that spawns from each gate and immediately begins healing Horridon. This is interruptible. All DPS needs to focus this add down, because at 50% he will drop the Orb of Control. Any player who clicks on the orb will receive a channel that forces Horridon to smash the gate close, effectively stopping any adds from spawning. Each time Horridon destroys a gate, he takes 50% more damage for the remainder of the encounter. After 1 minute, a new gate is opened. Damage on Horridon is secondary to finishing off the adds and moving to the second gate, which follows a clockwise order. Gate 2. The Gurabashi. Broodlords are the gather and AoE adds of this gate. They place a debuff on targets that causes ticking damage, but it only hits for 40k a second and is not a threat. Venom Priests, however, are extremely dangerous. These adds will cast a poison volley that, if not interrupted, will leave a 60-second poison debuff on the raid, dealing ticking damage that does stack. These adds spawn in a fixed order: 1 add, then 2 together, followed by 1 last add. It is essential that the gate be destroyed before any more Venom Priests spawn. Interrupts should be assigned to deal with the priests immediately. Venom Effusions also casts Poison Volley, but you may not have enough interrupts to stop all of them. They only have 1 million health and should simply be focused down the moment they appear. When summoned by a Venom Priest, these adds also drop a poison field on the ground that constantly shifts back and forth. Give these ample space to move around, as even 1 tick can be deadly when combined with a few volley debuffs.
Effusions.
Under the boss.
Kill the effusions and then get on the Dinomancer. Charge. I'm going to our center.
Try to figure
Orb down.
orbs down. And I'll get next
New effusion up, marked with a skull. Switch to it.
Gate 3. The Drakari. This door will prove to be the most challenging part of the encounter. Even the tankable adds, the Frozen Warlords, are exceptionally dangerous. They deal massive damage and leave behind a mortal strike on the tank, all while constantly spawning frost orbs that move around the room. Standing near a frozen orb will not only damage you, but slow you as well. These adds are secondary, however, to the extremely dangerous warriors and champions. These two ads are exactly identical and ignore all threat, instead fixating on a target and applying a disease to them that deals 20k damage every 3 seconds per application. This stacks up rapidly and lasts for 5 minutes, so having a paladin, priest, or a druid with symbiosis on a paladin to remove the diseases will be essential. Preventing the ads from meleeing anyone is the key to this gate. Constant slows, knockbacks, and stuns should be utilized. Given the excessive amount of frost orbs that will be spawning, staying mobile is key to all aspects of this phase. Use DPS cooldowns during this portion of the encounter. Heroism may be used in this phase to help push you through faster. We saved heroism for Horridon in this video's kill, but it proved to be pointless as he's largely a joke. Gate 4. The Amani. Protectors are the gathered AoE pack of this gate. Warbears are similarly non-threatening, though the frontal cleave attack that they deal will require players to be cautious as the tank moves around to pick up new adds. When a Warbear is defeated, the Beast Shaman atop it will drop down and place totems that deal massive AoE damage. These are not targetable and should just be avoided like all previous ground-type mechanics. Flamecasters will also spawn from this door, although their only ability is a 100k fireball that is casted at random raid members. Interrupting this is secondary to dealing with the Shaman and Warbears. Beast Shaman casts Chain Lightning, which should be interrupted whenever possible. They also apply a curse to random raid members, which causes them to sometimes damage themselves. Dispelling this is helpful, as the extra damage from Chain Lightning and fireballs can be problematic. Once the last Dinomancer has been brought down to 50% and the orb activated, all remaining adds should be finished off and the boss brought to the center of the room. 1 minute after the last door is opened, War God Jalak will join the encounter. This boss has 20 million HP and needs to be burnt down rapidly. He will consistently deal pulsing damage to the raid, which increases by 10% each time. Once defeated, Horridon himself will rampage and begin dealing increased tank damage, though it is largely negligible aside from the triple puncture. The key now is to defeat Horridon with his 200% damage taken debuff before the enrage timer, which supposedly occurs at 12 minutes. Overall, this encounter stresses your raid's awareness and control. Remember as you progress on this fight that Horridon's damage buff makes him an excellent target for multi-dotting and atonement healing, significantly reducing time spent in the final phase. Good luck, and be sure to check out availedguild.com for more guides and info about the guild.
Yeah, at this point you can just stay still, go back to our original strat.
No beat his ass, he'll still do his normal click. Frost orbs are...
Is the dungeon journal just full of shit, or what? No Dinomancer at all so
Yeah,
far?
apparently.
Oh, there we go.
No Dinomancers.
And before looking at her,
Yeah, that's
It's full
heroic
of shit.
probably. They probably just got it mixed up. Oh,
Per-
yeah!